it's so good. Rich with flavor, deep.
That roux is just delicious and rich, man. It really is. Now I see why you're importing it. Hey guys, Greg Hudson here, host of ABR, and we're in Eureka, Missouri, just outside of St. Louis, at a place called Super Smoker BBQ, which you've probably heard of, but a guy named Jeff Fitter has taken over, and he has a pedigree of championship barbecue. Now he's added Cajun, and he's doing championship food today at Super Smokers BBQ and Cajun.
Welcome to Super Smokers.
Oh my God, Jeff.
How you doing?
I'm great, man. I'm in awe right now because I'm like, love barbecue, love pit masters like yourself, and I've done some homework. I'm like fangirling a little bit. I'm not gonna lie.
Okay, all right, that's okay.
I really am.
That's okay.
It's great to meet you, brother.
It's great to meet you. Welcome to our fun little town.
It's been great so far. And so Super Smokers.
Super Smokers.
It's been around, the name's been around.
Since 1996. 1996. Been cooking in Memphis in May. Been cooking up great food like ribs and brisket. Listen, I had to get you here somehow, and you didn't come for this pretty face.
Well, this will get me here.
This will get you here.
Man. Okay, so tons of questions for you, first of all.
Okay.
But this is not going to eat itself, and I'm not going to be able to concentrate on our conversation if this is sitting in front of me.
That's
so
fair.
Talk me through what we need to do here.
So, well, first you need to come with a empty stomach and an open mind.
2 for 2.
Okay. Second, what you need to know is what we've cooked for you here is our USA Prime Prairie Fresh baby back rib.
Okay.
That's all we cook here is the baby back rib. We chose the USA Prime rib mainly because it's meaty, it's moist, and it's yummy. And it matches our cooking process, which I'm sure we'll dive into at some point. But what's great about it is it tastes just as good coming off the smoker as it does 2 hours later when somebody comes in and is able to order those ribs.
Got you. Yeah, because this is, I mean, listen, what you have to understand with barbecue especially, and especially with this guy being who he is, this food gets started before you have even decided you're going to come here and eat. He's been working on these.
6 a.m. Those ribs went on at 6 a.m. this morning.
Right. So, labor of love. And I'm going to start tearing in, but what I want to ask you, you mentioned something about using Prairie Fresh Prime. Now, I know with beef I've heard of Prime, but is there going to be a difference that I'm going to taste or notice when it comes to the pork here? You
will. You'll notice the moisture level. You'll notice the fat content. If you can see, and I don't know how well the camera can see, but you can see how it just glistens there.
I was going to say, I mean,
and it is 100% because of that moisture level in there.
All right. This looks so good. This looks like it's food styled. This doesn't even look real. It looks like this is on a Hollywood set. And
it is not plastic. And you're going to know it's not plastic in just 1 second when you, yeah, there you go. When you eat. We cook a competition level rib, competition level food, period. But our competition level rib here is exactly what you just get there. You should bite through there and see the teeth marks. It's not fall off the bone ribs. Fall off the bone ribs, my opinion, overcooked. Still good, but overcooked.
But I see what you mean, because this is tender in a way. Like, I know what you mean about the teeth. You should see the teeth marks because it's so tender. But yeah, not fall off the bone, but there's fat content there. But like, yeah, when you take a bite of a burger or something, you see that teeth ring here. For ribs, this is so unique.
Correct. And it doesn't tear away from the bone, but it pulls away from the bone easy.
Everything you're describing.
All cooked all the way through, bones nice and white.
Man.
And the best part is we lift you a little bit on your fingers so you can taste a little later too.
Oh, it's probably some on my face for the drive home later. Jeez.
We got a to-go bag for that.
Okay.
So we got our ribs, we've got our brisket, and then we've got our house-made sweet jalapeno cornbread.
Oh, I love jalapeno and cornbread.
It's good. It's not too spicy.
So let's talk about your background, because Super Smokers is a name that's been around this area for a while, as we discussed. But you've sort of taken it over as a when.
My wife and I took ownership in June of 2017. We are a family business, as you can see.
That wasn't even, listen, we did not screw that up. We did not screw that up.
We are a family business. This
Who's
is my
this?
granddaughter. And she likes to eat at the piggy restaurant, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my
You wanna go by
God.
Nana?
Yeah.
All right, you go
I'm
by
glad
Nana.
we got that. That really just happened. I think we can already tell, guys, watching this episode, what kind of day we're going to have today. It's going to be a pretty epic episode. Yeah, I know I've got stuff all over my face.
I left you some towels right here just in case.
I'm not done yet. I'm not ready to towel yet.
So I started cooking with Super Smokers in 2001. It's actually a fun story. My neighbor, his wife had bought him a class at the Kitchen Conservatory here locally to go to a barbecue cooking class. And Terry Black, who was the founder of Super Smokers BBQ, was the chef and the instructor for the class. They hit it off. We went back a second time, and he invited us to go to Memphis in May and hang out. And their night guy didn't show up.
Explain what Memphis in May is.
So Memphis in May is one of the, at the time it was the largest, one of the largest barbecue cooking competitions in America. It is also one of the prestigious. So it's now called the Memphis Barbecue Network. Then it was called Memphis in May. We went down, the night guy didn't show up for his shift. He got called back, couldn't make it. They were asked us, hey, do you guys want to stay and man the pits for the night? And we did. Finished 7th in the world with pork shoulders that year.
Whoa.
Now listen, I'm not going to say it was me. It wasn't me. But listen, I kept the fire burning. I followed the process, and I walked the stage.
Man,
That was cool.
absolutely.
If that doesn't get you hooked, nothing will.
So that was your foray into barbecue?
That's where I started. Yeah.
That's you.
Yeah.
You started, man. My
I
goodness.
started with the bar here.
There, but a guy like you're not going to go backwards. Therefore, if you start here, I can imagine where you're going now.
Where you're trying.
And so, you have a competition background. You've come in. You've taken the Super Smokers name now. But this is not your daddy's Super Smokers. This is not your granddaddy's Super Smokers.
It's not.
You guys are doing some things different now, right?
You know, we did a couple of things. The first thing is, I'm a huge believer in never forget where you come from.
Yeah.
Right? I try to remain humble because that's what's going to help us get to the next level. Super Smokers became wonderful and great for many reasons. One of them was their great cooking process. So the ribs, for instance, I went all the way back to exactly how the ribs have always been cooked at Super Smokers. I updated the rub and I updated the process a little bit to be able to make it relevant in today's restaurant world. You know, there's a few things that don't happen in my restaurant. Foil never touches my food here. We wrap everything in plastic to be able to hold it. Keep in mind that we're cooking and then holding until customers come in and order their food. We cut those ribs fresh when you come in and order.
So every order you're cutting
every
these
order.
fresh for every order.
Every
See,
order
that's
when
so
we plate.
important.
Yep.
Because you're going to, and like you said with that wrap, you're going to wrap in and keep that moisture in those juices.
That is correct.
And that way they don't get it until they order it, you cut into it, and that juice is still there, man.
That is correct.
That's where it's at, dude.
That is correct.
God, I'm sorry. I know I'm getting animated, but I'm excited about this today. By the way, I took a bite of this brisket. I didn't because I didn't want to cut you off. This is incredible.
Thank you.
And let me explain what I mean by that. So, obviously, you could see, let's grab something with a smoke ring here. You guys know we love a good smoke ring in America's Best Restaurants. So, we got the smoke ring, which is gorgeous that you can see going all the way around there, right? But what I love about however you're doing this, and I don't know the answer, if it's injection or what, but the flavor of the rub and your seasoning it penetrates to the middle. This middle bite tastes just the same as the outside with the bark on it.
It's all about the process. It's all about the process. The process that we use here is fairly simple. It's flip it, smack it, rub it.
That was a Bell Biv DeVoe song, I think,
It sure
too.
was. That's exactly
I didn't know they were
right.
talking about barbecue. Who knew?
Who knew? It's there you go. It's simple. We rub. It sits in the walk-in cooler for about 24 hours. Then we put it on the smoker, and then we let the smoker do its magic.
Oh, that fat is delicious. That little bit of fat around it. I can't get over the way that this flavor and the seasoning permeates to the middle of this.
It's a big, for me, it's a big deal to be able to have the right meat with the right rub, with the right cooking process, and then most importantly, the right apparatus to cook on. We're a pellet smoker. We use pellet smokers here. Cook Shack by Fast Eddie. Fast Eddie actually is a retired firefighter from Kansas City, and he at one point was the winningest brisket cook on the KCBS circuit using his Fast Steady smokers, and he became a friend over the years. I own every version of that smoker they have. The only thing I don't own right now is the pizza cooker, and we're going to own one of those someday.
Next, you're going to get some pizza with some barbecue toppings someday. So I love to hear what you're like. Now I'm getting a sense of what you're all about. Those three things have to all marry together for you to be happy with your barbecue.
That is correct.
And that's the difference that we're seeing. And that's what we mean by Super Smokers today is different than you've seen in the past because of Jeff, your background, and your process with how you're making this happen.
That is correct.
Now I noticed the word Cajun underneath now, though.
Oh, yeah.
What's that all about, man?
Well, so when I started cooking with Super Smokers 2001, a gentleman named Curtis Louvier was the head of the catering operations of the catering kitchen, the commissary kitchen for Super Smokers. And he would go on the competitions with us. He and I became very good friends. He was from New Iberia, Louisiana. He's the winningest gumbo cook-off champion in the World Gumbo Cook-Off Championship.
Of course he is.
Right? Why wouldn't he be?
Why wouldn't he be?
He's also known as Backbone Stew Lou. He makes a mean backbone stew.
Is that the guy Bourdain would get his from?
He is the guy that Bourdain would get his from. That is correct.
Man.
That is correct.
Okay, I'm sorry, I mean to cut you.
No, that's okay. So he really took me under his wing and really showed me what Cajun food is, what it's supposed to be, what it's not. It is supposed to be that comfort food. It is supposed to be what you have in front of you when you sit down with Miss Joan and himself at his kitchen table and break bread and talk about the day and talk about all the memories. It's that Southern comfort food in Louisiana.
Gotcha.
Flavorful, full of love.
So are you taking the Cajun aspect of your menu just as seriously as you're taking this barbecue? Is that what you're telling me?
Our motto is championship quality food. Not championship quality barbecue, not championship quality Cajun, championship quality food. Whoa.
So what would you say, what would be something that you're most proud of when it comes to the Cajun side of your menu then?
The gumbo. By far the gumbo. Curtis was very kind to lend us, so to speak. I augmented it a little bit for the St. Louis palate, but to lend us his championship gumbo recipe.
Can we get back there and maybe try some of that?
No, why wouldn't we?
This is going to be a day, folks. Anything else we're going to be trying today?
Oh, we're going to try the jambalaya. We're going to try a little bit of everything, but I heard a rumor that you like whole hogs.
So I've never done a whole hog, truth be told. It's been a bucket list dish for me, but something I've never done before.
Well, we're going to change that today. Have you ever done a hog picking?
No.
And let's not go, are you from the country?
I mean, kind of.
Do you know what cow tipping is?
Yes, that I do know. I'm from Hamilton, Ohio. I do know what that is.
Pig picking isn't anything like cow tipping.
Okay.
But it's a whole lot of fun when it's cooked and you're pulling it off.
Next up is some Cajun, and then if he's not pulling my leg, we might get a whole hog by the end of this episode. All right, we tried the barbecue, which, come on, brother. Get out of here. Get out of here with that.
This isn't a hobby.
Well, listen, you are, like we said, you say you do not have chefs, you have pit masters.
We do.
And that is evident. Now we're going to get into the Cajun aspect of what's happening here because, discussing this with you, the Cajun's not just a gimmick. Like, you're really doing it here, right?
No, listen, go big or go home. That's my motto.
Well, what do we start with here? What are you making for us?
You know what we're going to make is we're going to make our World Championship seafood gumbo. But let that sink in.
World Championship.
So my mentor, Curtis Louvier,
Yeah.
Big Lou they call him, New Iberia, Louisiana, where they hold the World Gumbo Cook-Off Championship. Right?
There's your trivia for the day.
There you go. There you go. He is the winningest Gumbo Cook-Off Championship. I think he's won it like 14,972 times.
Wow.
Or
That's
8.
a lot.
I'm not sure which.
Give or take.
Ish. It's always an ish, right? So he has been kind enough to share his recipe with us and mentor myself and my staff into being able to cook it.
Wow,
So we'll do the party.
that's a nice relationship to have. My goodness.
Fantastic.
Okay, so what do we got? We're starting with some shrimp.
So we're gonna put some shrimp down, and we'll season it, and then we have crawfish as well because you can't have seafood gumbo without crawfish.
Yeah, it's not gumbo otherwise.
Right. And then what we do here, obviously we can't make every single serving from scratch.
Right.
So what we do is we put the roux together and we make it as a base.
Okay.
Our gumbo with the roux together as a base. We actually bring in Savoy's roux from Louisiana. We bring in the dark and the light roux, and then we blend it together. Now, we can make it ourselves, don't get me wrong.
Sure.
We have the opportunity, we have the ability, we have the skill set.
But if you have the relationship to source it from the best of the best in Louisiana, and you bring it all the way up here,
That is correct.
I mean, to me, that shows the commitment you have to putting that word Cajun on your logo.
And it's fantastic. There's no real reason to reinvent the wheel.
No.
When it's really, really good. Now, this is St. Louis, so the palate is a little bit different, so we have augmented the recipe just a little bit.
Yeah.
Nothing major. We still use the Trinity. We still use the peppers. We still use the celery, the onions. But instead of using green peppers, I use poblanos.
Oh,
So we're really going for that full Cajun flavor, not just that Creole spicy. We want that deep, intense,
and
down-home, yummy
that's
flavor.
that's what I wanted to ask you about,
Okay.
because there are so many people out there that have this misconception. And coming from the expert here, man, explain to people, because there is a difference between Cajun and Creole.
There's a huge difference.
So
and
explain to folks that difference, because I think that's something that's important to point out.
the big difference between the two is spice level. To be honest, they're both very deep and rich in flavor. The big difference is going to be the spice, how hot it is
And
to the palate.
I think a lot of people think that both are one and the same when it comes to Cajun and Creole when it comes to that level of spice.
That is correct.
And people who don't like spicy can be turned off when they hear the word Cajun.
And the biggest reason, in my opinion, the biggest reason is New Orleans. New Orleans is a wonderful town. It's
Absolutely.
a great party town. Love it. But it serves mostly Creole food. You can find some bistros and stuff that are serving that deep middle of Louisiana country Cajun food, but typically it's going to be that Creole, a little bit spicier, a little bit more, I call it tourist food.
Right. I like that. So when we're talking Cajun, we are talking rich spices and deep flavor. We're not talking burn your mouth off spicy.
That is exactly
See,
correct.
so listen, you hear the man, folks? Don't be afraid of Cajun food. Cajun food is rich in spices and flavor, not here to burn your mouth off.
Listen, the other way that I like to describe the Cajun food is, think of it this way. The Deep South, when you go to the Deep South, they have what they call comfort food,
Yes,
right?
yes.
Here in St. Louis, we have comfort food. It's pot roast, it's pork steaks. It is warm, warms your heart, fills your belly, sticks to your bones food, right?
Yeah.
Food is. It's not meant to burn your mouth off. It's meant to fulfill you. It's meant to sit down at the kitchen table, break bread, and enjoy that family time.
Awesome. Well, I can't wait to try this.
Let's plate it up.
We're going to get this into some bowls and some plates. Time to taste. This is what you're looking for right here. Here's your finished product. We got some rice in there. Looks like you're using, right?
Yep.
Let's go. Now, how do you want me to do this? How should we
You know
taste
what?
this?
Just scoop and eat.
Just mix it,
Yep,
scoop and eat.
just
All right.
scoop and eat. Oh, it's so good. Rich with flavor, deep.
That roux is just delicious
It's hard
and
to
rich,
beat.
man. It
It's hard
really
to
is.
beat.
Now I see why you're importing it.
Listen, Savoy's has got it figured out. They've got it figured out.
So why would you do anything else?
Why would you do anything?
And you know what? I really like that you're blending the light and the dark roux,
Yes.
because I'm definitely getting a little. I get that dark, that richness from the dark, but then I don't know, that lighter kind of smooths it and butters it out a little bit.
Exactly correct.
And the cook on, the cook on that shrimp is fantastic. It's perfect. It's not
I've done
overdone.
it once or twice.
I was gonna say,
Like I said, it's not a hobby.
I mean, I know saying that to you, you're probably like, well, yeah, of course I cook shrimp perfectly.
Right.
But it's so important in this because you don't want it rubbery and overcooked.
Correct.
It's still just very, very tender. This is great, man.
I appreciate it.
Oh gosh, and see, you got the crawfish in there, and look at that beautiful crawfish. This is I can't believe you're doing competition barbecue the way that you are, and then combining it with this just incredible Cajun food that you're taking just as seriously as you are the barbecue.
Listen, our motto isn't competition level barbecue. Our motto is competition level food.
That's a great motto, and you're definitely doing it. So don't tease me with this now. You said earlier that we were doing a whole hog, man. That's a bucket list item for me.
Somebody told me it was a bucket list item for you.
It is. It is. I've been all around this world, 49 states, 6 continents.
Did you bring your bucket?
I'll go get a bucket next door, brother.
You're going to check it off today.
Yes. All around the world. This is the one thing I've never done, a whole hog. 5-course blowfish meal in Osaka, Japan. Never done a whole hog. Today's the day. It's coming up next. All right, here we go. Whole hog time. Possibly, we're going to be checking on it right now, you said, right?
Listen, wouldn't it be great? I mean, we just met.
Yeah.
But wouldn't it be great if I just opened this up and it was empty and you were like, oh.
I'm like Geraldo with the Houdini vault. There's like nothing in there. I would not be doing.
I mean, I could. That would be cruel and unusual upon it. Although Austin might have paid me a couple extra dollars to make that happen.
If I'm getting punked right now and there's not a hog in here, episode over.
Hey, wouldn't it be great if Plap just jumped out of there?
Wouldn't shock me, actually. Wouldn't shock me, as a matter of fact. Oh, gosh.
Instead.
Now, what are we looking for?
Well, we're looking for the expression on your face when you mark off this bucket list item from this whole hog. So, welcome to your little head.
Oh, baby. That is gorgeous.
Dude,
this is bucket list for me right now. I'm glad we're capturing this on video.
It's a whole hog.
It really is.
So we're just going to check it for temperature. I know that it's got to be really close. Let's just give it a try and see where we're at.
Bucket list. Little animation maybe, I don't know.
Dun, dun.
Seriously, this is something I've always wanted to do.
Jamie, can you get me a knife? He's gone. He gone. What'd you use that? What'd you use that pear knife for?
Head ribs.
Okay. That's all right. We'll just we'll figure it. It's got.
Want me to go in and get you a knife, Pitmaster?
No. He's probably got one coming pretty close. That's the bone.
Yeah, we're just checking it out.
We're great.
Making our whole
We're great. This is where we want to be.
That's where we want to. This is where we want to be.
This is where we want to be.
Yeah.
So basically, what I'm checking it for is, I'm checking to make sure that it is. Thank you. That it is the temperature by which I want it to be. Now, the whole hog cooks at a different temperature, finishes at a different temperature than the pork butts do, than the ribs do, than the briskets do, than pretty much everything does. Okay. And the reason is because you're cooking the entire hog.
Right.
You're cooking the ham. You're cooking the shoulder. You're cooking the loin. You're cooking the ribs. You're cooking the belly. You're cooking the cheek. You're cooking all the goodness.
Different fat content ratios, different thicknesses, and different parts. So you're going to cook at different times, different temperatures. So again, that's why you got to be a pit master to be able to do this whole thing.
It sounds like you studied well.
I'm a mark, man. Listen, I mark out for this stuff.
All right. Well, that's what we're looking to do. We are going to we're going to pull this hog out and let you do a little bit of hog picking. What do you think?
How the heck we're going to get this thing out of here? I'm all about it. We're going to try to figure out how to get this out of here.
Well, you're going to roll your sleeves up.
Let's go.
There we go.
Am I seriously helping this man pull this whole hog out right
now? No.
Oh!
I mean, you can if you want.
So my dreams did come true. We got the whole hog.
Ta-da!
Oh! Okay, so first of all, we saw you take the skin off.
We did.
And then now what's the play?
So now we're gonna dress it up and get it ready for service.
Okay.
So we've injected, we put a little rub in the underbelly. Now we're gonna finish with a little light dusting of the rub on top.
Okay.
Just want to, it's not gonna change any flavor. It's not gonna make anybody's day just some stupid spectacular, but it's gonna add some flavor. And then we're going to give it a little sauce.
Oh, okay.
And then we'll take it out and put it out there. Well, you act like you've done this before. Are you looking for a job, by the way? We're hiring.
Listen, if I get to do this every day and like this whole hog stuff, and if you teach me the ways,
every day,
if you can make me a pit master, I mean,
Well, you know, if I can make the chef I have working for me a pitmaster, I can make you a pitmaster. Somebody get that on camera. Where'd he go?
you can, you can be my Yoda.
So I'll tell you that since you've not done this before,
Yeah.
I want to just walk you through the parts of a hog.
Please do.
So I'm gonna put you on the spot.
Okay.
It can always be cut out later.
Hopefully.
Do you have any idea what part of the pig the ham comes from? Brilliant!
Right there.
Yeah, you're 1 for 1.
All right.
All right, number 2.
Oh gosh, there's more than one.
Where's the bacon come from?
The bacon from the belly.
That is exactly correct. It is from the belly.
You see, I'm not just some talker on camera, folks.
All right.
Actually, I'm a food nerd.
2 for 2. All right, you ready?
Sure.
Where's the pork steak come from?
The pork steak.
The pork steak.
Well,
Where's
the pork steak you said is part of the pork butt, which is not actually the butt. It's actually up here, if I'm not mistaken.
That was 3 for 3. Somebody was listening today. All right, you
My
win.
guy.
You know what? For that, you're gonna get to do some pig picking.
Okay, all right, let's go. Let's start picking pig.
Well, we've got a sauce in there. Slow down.
Oh yeah.
Listen, as the pitmaster, you're the last to eat.
Oh man.
You're the first to see it and the last to eat it.
That's fair.
Not sample it though.
Eat with your eyes first.
You got to sample because it's called quality control.
Yeah. It's a little
Quality control is very important.
taste along the way.
Little taste along the way. That's exactly right. So, for instance, one of the places that you really want to make sure, I'm just going to grab a knife real quick so we can do this the right way. One of the things you really want to make sure of is that the loin is good and moist. So we'll just cut you a little section of the loin out here.
Again, strictly for quality control purposes.
Quality control purposes.
That's the only reason we're doing this.
That is exactly correct. That's a little pork loin. Literally a little pork loin. And then we'll give it a little dusting. And then just for measure, we'll just give it a little
sauce.
We'll give it a little sauce to just add a little bit of flavor so you can taste the whole thing.
Because we want to know what our customers are going to be tasting.
You have to.
That's
Otherwise,
why
how will you know if it's ready?
I might need another taste. That is incredible. Oh my goodness.
Did we do all right?
No, I mean, I don't know.
Tender, moist.
Yeah, all the way through.
There you go. There you go.
And yeah, when you do it that way, it doesn't go down like your typical pork loin. It just melts and falls apart.
It doesn't. And then that's the key. So that's the big misnomer about cooking whole hogs is that's why they call it cooking a whole hog. It's not just because it's a whole hog inside of a smoker or in a pit or in the ground or wherever it is you cook it. It's because you're cooking the whole hog. You're cooking every single part. You're cooking the shoulder, the loin, the ham. And you have to be able to cook it at one temperature, but get it to the to the finished temperature in all places.
That's what makes a pitmaster a pitmaster.
That is the key.
And it all being connected to, I think, is what makes that difference of why this, for example, this loin is just sort of like just melt in your mouth, fall apart, because it's all being cooked together versus cut out separately into different portions.
That is correct. We did not butcher it.
No, butchering first. Do it this way, cooks differently, get a totally different style of pig than you would if everything's portioned out.
My second favorite thing to do when preparing a whole hog.
Okay.
I should say when serving a whole hog. The number one thing is seeing the look on people's faces when they eat the hog.
Like when my jaw dropped?
Correct.
Okay.
The number two thing, it's called painting the hog.
Painting the hog.
We're going to go back to kindergarten.
I love it. That's the one grade I did well in.
We're going to paint the hog. You're just going to use your hand. And you're just going to, grab yourself some sauce.
Get the paint.
Some of our world championship.
See, I was waiting for it. I was going to ask
This is the world championship recipe. It is a mixture of our championship sauce and our Kansas City sauce, which is sweet and smoky.
Treat it with love over here.
And then you're just going to put it on. We're going to cover the spot up where the loin's missing.
We sauce it all the way around in the sides and everything.
All the way around.
Got it. Heard. Little piggy massage.
Little piggy massage.
This is the best day ever.
There you go.
Care.
It's washable.
It is.
It's probably cashmere or something.
It is.
It's fine.
I know.
It's fine. I mean, who wears a cashmere sweater to barbecue joint anyways?
I don't know. I wanted to impress you, Chef. I wanted to impress you.
Well, you did
Should've
just
worn
by showing up.
This, I mean, seriously, this is bucket list for me, what we're doing right now. But I don't know how many other people can say slathering barbecue sauce on the side of a pig that's just been skinned is bucket list for them, but for me, this is it. It's what it's all about.
It's what we do.
Gosh, look at this. Look at the color. Look what this does. It transforms this entire pig, this whole hog.
Now, typically what we would do is we would then take this hog and we would put it back into the smoker for hour and a half or so, let the sauce set, and then we would wrap it up to be able to take it out to the to site. We cater, I don't know, 20, 30, 50 hogs a year, weddings, all kinds of places. Let's take this out and see if people want to eat off of it.
Let's go impress a few first responders.
There we go.
Here she is, seasoned, rubbed.
Listen, it was everything I do to keep you from crawling up on the counter with this thing. I get it.
What you didn't see off camera, friends.
I get it. So listen, we do a couple things at Super Smokers that's a lot of fun. We give back unceremoniously. I don't get on Facebook. I don't talk about how much I give back to the community because it's how I choose to run my business, and I think it's fantastic. The fire department's leaving right now. We do a lot with first responders. We do a lot with the military. They mean a lot to us. They mean a lot to the country. They mean a lot to this community. We bring, yesterday we had culinary students in here from a high school far away. Their teacher was a chef that worked for me, a pitmaster that worked for me, that he brought his students down. We try to give back. I try to teach. I'm a father. I'm a grandfather. It means a lot. We do these whole hogs. We do these for charity a lot. Where we'll give a whole hog away, a whole hog package. It's the hog. It's two sides. It's us. We actually come out and serve it.
Wow,
we literally pull it and put it on every person's plate. I talk to every single person that goes by as they come by. It becomes a big photo op. It's really cool. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, look at this.
How can it not be, right? It becomes the centerpiece of your party. We're going to do something a little bit different with this today with you.
You get this smirk on your face every now and then, and I'm like, I trust him, but there's this little thing back here.
Now you sound like my wife.
Okay, what are we doing?
So, in Memphis in May, in the competitions, you turn a blind box in.
Right.
And that blind box consists of three things. Do you know what those three things are? You did so well earlier.
Oh, man.
I know.
Well, you can let the expert tell that.
Just to make sure.
Yeah.
It consists of the shoulder, the loin, and the ham. So, we're going to let you pull your own blind box.
Okay.
And then you can sample.
Excellent.
So the pulling of it is super simple, right?
I was going to ask you, is there a certain way we want to make sure that we pull or present?
Just not onto yourself.
Okay.
That's really what it boils down to. You just don't want to make too big of a mess.
That's fair.
All right, fair enough. So typically in the competition, we would use a knife and we would cut it out.
Yeah.
Come on.
We're hog picking today. It's different.
This is made. God gave you utensils right here. There you go. So all you're going to do is you're going to dig in the shoulders here. And basically what I'm looking for when I'm pulling the shoulder meat is I'm looking for how it pulls and how moist it is. So you can see how moist that is right there.
And when you're pulling from the shoulder there, do you get nice and deep first and then pull back?
I do. That's exactly right.
Okay.
And I'm looking for the meat that is tender, and you see how moist it is?
Yeah.
Juicy. Some people don't like the word moist. I like to be able to pull it out, and that's going to be a great bite when you bite through it. You want it to be tender enough that you can bite through it, but not so tender that it mushes in your hand.
Gotcha.
Or mushes in your mouth.
And I see you've got some nice chunks there, so we want to pull complete chunks.
That's what I like to pull complete chunks.
Okay.
A lot of times you'll end up, you'll have some competition cooks, and they're not wrong. They'll actually cut it out and then pull from the cut.
Gotcha.
We're not going to be that pretty today.
No, we want to get right in there.
So we're going to pull
so down
that
here,
right there. Down
or stay
there.
up there. Down here's good.
So this is the shoulder blade right here.
So I'm right against the bone there with those fingertips.
And pull straight back. There you go. Oh, Look at that.
Oh, yeah, see?
Look at that.
You're right. It's you can tell completely juicy and moist, but it's still together.
Correct. Go ahead and throw it on there. We'll both sample this. I haven't eaten yet today either. So the loin is the next place. I am going to, Michelle, will you hold this for me? I need both hands. All right. So the loin's the next thing. Now the loin literally runs from front to back. It's the whole tail. The prime part is going to be in the middle here. You can tell where that's at because that's where that juice is going to be.
Yeah, that little puddle that we saw.
Yep.
Yeah.
So if you run your hand down here, you can feel fine. So if you run your hand down, you kind of feel like that's fine. What I like to do is I like to run and separate that from the spine, and then just pull the loin out as a whole.
Wow!
If you've cooked this correctly, here's your
whole loin just comes out at once.
Here's your pork loin.
Jeez!
It literally just comes apart.
God, get out of here.
Go ahead and give it a try on the other side.
The other side?
Yeah.
All right. Come around here. Yep, so I can feel that.
Yep.
Right about there.
Yep. And then just give it a pull, and you'll just pull it straight out from right where it belongs.
Oh my! And that's like 15 pounds of loin right there.
That's a big loin.
Jeez,
That's a big loin.
incredible.
That's a big loin. You don't have kids, do you?
No,
I can tell.
Because you would think I just had a child, as impressed as I was with that.
You're like, oh boy,
Probably in that video, it looks like I just did because I was coveting that thing as if it were a child.
That's exactly correct. We'll put a little bit on there. So that's your loin, that's your shoulder, that's your loin, and now why don't you come back on around? Because I already disseminated this ham.
Okay.
Now the ham's a little different.
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll do with
this isn't your traditional Easter ham, right? This has been a smoked ham that's going to basically be relatively the same consistency as the shoulder, but because of the way it was cooked.
Yeah.
The smoked hams, they're cooked to a different temperature, a different way. They're cut.
They're butchered off.
They're butchered off, right?
Yeah.
So they're brined. They're made to be sliced and then eaten. Versus this is going to be a little more pulled. So when I do these, I actually like to pull and get down as deep as I can get.
And do you want more of like a separation than we had with the other two cuts?
That is correct.
Okay.
That is correct. Yep. Get in there and pull that out.
Oh, it's just, I mean, it's falling right off.
That's yep, and then see this part right here. This is the part right here that I look for. This is fantastic. And then I just clean it up a little bit so it's a nice. Look at how pretty that is.
That is.
Look at how pretty that is.
Oh man.
Look at that.
That's gorgeous.
Look at that.
That's what you want to serve.
I want it
That's
there.
Beautiful.
So this is what I would be working from when I create my my blind box. I'm throwing it all over my wife. Good. Somebody get that on camera. But again, here's another great spot right here. See this spot right here?
Yeah, well, that whole thing's coming out.
Look at that come right out of there.
Yeah, and that's what's crazy is, even though it's been smoked all together like this, the fact, I mean, this still looks beautiful. This looks carved, and you know what I mean? It looks like this was made for presentation.
And what's wonderful is when you take this apart, you bite into it, it's going to be nice and tender. Look at how juicy that is inside there. Look at that juice coming out of there.
It's crazy.
It's crazy. It's awesome. I don't know that we have enough room for all this, but I want to take some of that too. And we're just going to sit it on the table over there. We'll go sit down and eat. Pull it apart. Pull it apart.
Yeah. All right.
So this is where the fun becomes. Once you get done with all your pieces to put in the blind box, this is where the pig picking comes from. Now you just start pulling it and putting it on people's plates.
This is nice.
Yeah, that's a nice piece right there.
Right there.
Look at that. You're ready to go.
Put me on the pit crew.
You're in.
Beautiful.
Just set it down right here. Yep.
Yeah. And then from here we just start picking apart.
From here we would just start picking
this
apart.
Is the fun part, I feel like.
Yep.
Oh wow.
And this is where you want to get where you go all the way under the belly and pull you some bacon. Look at this.
Oh yeah, you can see bacon fat in here.
Look at this bacon.
Get out of here. Should I try to pull this all together?
Absolutely.
I feel like I'm trying to birth a baby right there. They're like, be a doctor, like, okay, I've got it. I'm not birth, you know, become a doctor. Like, here we go.
We'll get some of this bacon and put it on the tray as well because
is it? So would this be part of the bacon?
that is the bacon. That is the bacon. That's the belly. You can go set it down. And then once you're done with the main course,
Yeah.
you got to have dessert, right? Are you a dessert guy?
I'm a big dessert guy if it comes to this hog, yeah.
So
Little pig candy?
there is a little bit of pig candy here. And that pig candy is up here in this jaw.
Now, see, this is what I've been waiting on. The cheek and the jaw.
So we're going to get you a little bit of the cheek right here.
Yeah.
That's a little bit of the cheek right here.
Pork cheek. This is, yeah. Some pork cheek. Oh, man.
And this is the little, and I'm going to share because
Okay.
poor Austin.
We'll get him some.
This is dessert,
Is it?
and it is the yummiest. Can you do
No,
it with
that's-
one hand?
That has, like, complexity to it.
It does. It does.
That is outstanding.
And there's only two. There's only two of those little nuggets, one on each side of the cheek.
That's incredible.
Welcome to whole hog picking.
My brother. Listen, we're going to finish picking this pig. But I'll tell you, I can tell you for sure, I've never had an experience like this before on America's Best Restaurants. So anytime you're anywhere near the St. Louis area, you got to stop by. This is the place to be. Whole hog, doing it for the community and, well, doing it for everybody at ABR here today. Doing it big with the whole hog. I'm Greg Hudson. We'll see you on the next episode of America's Best Restaurants.